Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be working on a fall page today, and I want to show you how you can use basically stuff from your stash if you don't have a fall collection. I only have a couple, and I have talked about this before in other previous videos. So I am working on today not using any fall collection, but I'm going to turn it into a fall page. So right away when I think of fall, I think of wood grain. So I made sure I grabbed a wood grain background. Now, if you have a cut file machine, I looked for fall die cuts or cut files, and I really like this one by the Cut Shop, which is owned by Ashley Horton. This is one of her newest ones where you have your acorns and the leaves, and it's shaped as a wreath. Now you can either have it just half of this, where it could look like this, or you could use the whole thing. I'm not sure yet of what I'm going to do. I may very well just only use just a piece of this. But here is the photo I am going to use today, and I'm really excited about this. I have no idea where I'm going to go with this. My first thought was placing this, or backing all the leaves up, placing this in the center, and then I'm thinking of having the title here and the journaling here of this day. And so that is all that I pretty much know right now. So what I grabbed is a Maggie Holmes older collection. I went through all the little bits and bobs of the open book. So this is an older collection, but I pulled out things that I thought looked very fall-like as far as colors. Not necessarily that I'm going to use up every single piece, but just things that caught my eye that I might actually use. So I grabbed some things there, and then I grabbed, this is from a Scraptastic kit. This was actually one of their exclusive papers. I really like the colors, and that's actually where I kind of draw on all my color from. When I saw the open book, I really thought this was a perfect match for it. So again, this is from an old Scraptastic kit that I actually never even broke open. This is why I don't belong to kit clubs. I don't scrap fast enough to even get through anything. So here is an open book 12 by 12 paper, and I'm really looking at just the yellow. So I'm trying to go for more of solids. This is the only one that's going to be really a pattern paper. From that open book, I did find this green that I really liked. I thought it was a pretty good match. And then here, I mean, it is a little bit darker, but I am going to go with this pink paper. Now this pink paper is from Jelly Bean. It's from their Happy Camper collection. And I have two pieces of this, and I have yet to even use this collection. So I am okay with cutting this up, being that I have two pieces, and backing them up for my with my leaves. Now, if you notice, I actually did something different. I did not want to cut my cut file with white cardstock. I ended up using this beige or tan or cream, whatever color you want to call it, cardstock from my stash that has just been in my stash forever. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to do white. I think I want to do something a little different this time around. And so I just, yeah, I cut it with this. So let's see how that, ooh, interesting. I didn't even notice this. Two different colors. I had not even a clue on that. So as you can see, it's a darker brown and then the light. But because this is such a dark wood grain, I'm going to go ahead and use more of the lighter side. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and put you on I can't even talk. Fast forward. All right, so now that we are working on fast forward, I'm pulling out some of those papers that I had talked to you about. Now, one thing I did mess up on, I had some old Scraptastic kits that had some of that open book collection in them. And I ended up not using any of those from that collection as far as papers. Which really threw me off when it came to embellishment time, because I was like, I don't understand why nothing is kind of working together. And that is because, like I said, while I was scrapbooking, I happened to just switch it up on papers without even really thinking about it. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me fussy cut this whole backing. At first I trace it, and then I realized that was the worst and hardest way to do it. At least for me, the best way to do it is just put some glue behind that leaf and just slap it down on that piece of paper and start cutting it around it, and then I can fussy cut really closely to the edge. So I'm just showing you really briefly one way that you can do it, but as you know, you have probably seen it done a million times of many different ways to basically back up a cut file. Now, cut files are not my friend. In fact, we battled it out this morning. I started this last night and then I went to bed, and then I woke up this morning and was watching some live videos with some of my scrappy friends, Christina and Megan, and just watching them while I was backing up the rest of this cut file. And the cut file and I'm not kidding you, were battling it out because it's just, I don't know why it's so difficult for me, because when I watch other people that back up cut files, everything looks so smooth. But I don't know what, for whatever reason, it just, yeah, is a pain for me. Not that I don't like it, because I actually do. I love the look of it when it's done. But yeah, so there it is. It is finished, and voila. I think only one paper that is actually from the Maggie Holmes collection, and I believe it's the yellow. The other one are Scraptastic, like I said, and then from Jelly Bean Soup. So there's my colors. Completely not even fall related, and that's okay. It doesn't even match. In fact, the perfect collection that probably would have matched really well with the colors that we are wearing is the Simple Stories Forever Fall. But I wanted to kind of put a challenge out for myself, because I wanted to show you that if you didn't own anything, any fall collections, that you can still create fall pages. So I think I did that. I absolutely love how it turned out anyways. So now here I am going, okay, what can I use? And I'm realizing, wow, the colors aren't really meshing well. And why is that? And that's when I realized, oh, because I didn't use any of the colors from Open Book. But I am seeing a few things that I wanted to use. I did see that die cut, and even though the colors are completely off from that die cut, which is a house, I really wanted to use that, because when I think of family, I think of home. I think of just fall is such a comfort season to me, even though we don't get it much of it. I feel that it's just a time where families gather around, they're all cozy at home, they're doing board games, just spending time together. And that's really what I wanted to capture. Now, I'm going to mess around with this die cut, and at first I'm like, you know what's bothering me about this is the chimney. The chimney is made out of a different wood grain, and I have talked about this in a previous video where definitely, I find that if you put two wood grains together and they don't match, because they're from two different collections, two different tones, it can tend to clash. So I cut the fireplace out, and now I'm trying to cover up a yellow piece of paper that my daughter is holding in her hand. It was because she went through the corn maze with her brother, and so I thought I could angle that house just right and nestle it up. So I'm using the point of the roof to line up with the edge of the photograph. So that's what I think I'm going to do. And I'm like, okay, I can mess with this and fussy with this forever, but I'm not going to. So I'm using, notice the fine line bottle I'm using? Yeah, I'm taking my second go to use that fine line bottle, and look at it's all pouring out by the needle on the side. I'm like, what the heck? This thing does not like me, and I don't like it. So I'm like, all right, just keep going with it, Desiree. Just savage what you can. Now here is where I mess up, and I'm not kidding you. I won't even use the word that I want to use. I start putting it down, and look what's happening to my wood grain paper. So much of it's pouring out of the side. I didn't even think I used that much with that fine line bottle. Again, I'm not, I've only used it twice, and I'm not good at gauging how much of it comes out. And I'm sticking it down, and I'm realizing it's crinkling up. It's not laid flat. And why I made that mistake, I mean, I'm mad. Like, I'm really mad. So just think of the word that I'm wanting to say. It starts with a P, but I'm like angry right now. I'm going, great. I don't think I have another one of these wood grain papers. They were from a Simple Story Basic collection. And I'm like, let me just keep working with it. So I'm trying to dab off camera. I think I shut the camera off, and I'm dabbing it all up, and it ended up working out just fine. So I'm warning you guys to not make the same mistake. You know what? Don't stick it all down at once. Start with one leaf and just work your way around that circle. Now, here I am. I see this sticker that I was going to fussy cut because that wasn't a 6x6 paper pad, that saying. But instead I found it in the sticker sheet and said, why not save me the trouble and just, instead of fussy cutting, just use the sticker. And I'm going to put down the picture in the center, and I'm kind of changing up my idea of what I thought I was going to do. And now I want to use that sticker. Now I'm going to place it in 2 different areas, and I'm going to do a screenshot of each one because I'm not sure yet. And of course, when I'm recording this, I can't ask you guys and then get an answer because it's not like I'm going on live or anything like that. But I thought about having it up, and again, because I'm trying to cover that yellow piece of paper that my daughter's holding, or lowering it. So you're going to see this one where it's kind of lowered a bit, and then you're going to see me kind of have it up. So I messaged my friend Christina, and Christina Sorgay is the one that owns that awesome kit of the, sorry, I'm getting distracted here, the Secret Not So Secret Kit Club, which is an amazing kit club because she customizes it to your style. And I just said, real quick question, what do you guys think? And that is something I do often, where I will message my friends, all my scrappy friends out there, and just be like, I can't decide, help me decide. She liked the very first picture, and that is where I lowered it and not had it so, it looked too congested or too crowded with the title up higher. So I now have it lower, and I really like the look of that. And then I tried different cardstock papers to back up that photo off camera. I couldn't find anything. I almost was going to use the same pattern paper, but I just felt like it was too much. And I just glued down the photo, and then I realized when I was going through my stash that I had these old photo corners from, I believe, Teresa Collins, and I had 2 of the left of the script. Now these ones are my favorite. I wish I had 100 of these. They're just like a cream with like I said, script writing on it. Can't read what it says, but I only had 2. Now you see that I have 3 corners. So I thought about using different ones, and then I was like, well, great, then I'm going to use up 3 and then have 1 just by itself, and that's going to drive me crazy because it's basically I can't ever use it. So I said, you know what, no, I'm going to make myself use these 2 that I have because I absolutely love them. Those are the ones I want to use, and I need to cover up that 3rd corner. Well, I just need to put something in its place. So I'm going to try a couple things that are gold, so that way I can tie that in with the gold ink splatters I'm going to have here, or add here at the end. And I used this, is it called a jackrabbit? Oh gosh, someone help me out. It's the rabbits that have the horns. And I didn't even know those existed until someone pointed out that they do, right? Or am I just imagining that we don't have, that bunnies can't have horns? I can't remember, but I think they are a real animal in another state. And I was like, you know what, that's the one I'm going to use. It's in motion, so it makes sense for it to be up on top, where I try to use one bunny that was sitting still, that just is sitting there, and that to me looked like it was just floating up in the sky. But when I see this rabbit, I mean, they hop really high and they are up in the air. So it made sense to me to put it in that corner and it would be okay. Now I had a freckled fawn old wood button that had X and O in it, and that came in one of their fall kits. So that was the first time I ever used any of those wood buttons. I did remove the foam adhesive, and that is because it already is such a bulky element as it is, that for me to add foam and keep foam on that, it's just too much for me. That's just my style. I don't like super dimensional items in my album. Now I'm adding some foam adhesive on that. I'm going to call her Jackrabbit. If I'm wrong, please list it below, or please comment below, and so that way I know what to call it. I'm probably actually going to research it once I'm done recording this. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and add some foam adhesive, and then I'm going to add my ink splatters. And right now I think I'm actually probably looking for some, oh no, I'm looking for the ink splatter by Heidi Swap Shine. And just because I have so many bottles of inks, I definitely do not need any more. But I'm trying to find it out of that whole lot that I have. And I didn't realize it was taking this long. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Anyways, now that I think I have it, and I'm probably shaking it up here, and I'm probably watching, or no, I probably was commenting when I was watching Megan live this morning. That is probably what I was doing. Alright, so now I got my ink splatters, and I'm just going to shake it up, and then I'm going to do a whole bunch of drops. So they don't go as
perfect as I wanted to, but you know what? That is the joy of using ink splatters. You just never know where they're going to land and if they're going to be too much, but you know what? I've learned to embrace it and just go with the flow on it. And so that's it, guys. I totally thought I was going to use complete different thickers for my title. I wasn't even thinking that my title was going to be My Heart is Full, but it is definitely where this day was just actually a couple weeks ago. I had a lot going on in my mind, and just it was a really hard time. It was actually probably the most scariest time I've ever had to deal with in my entire life. And my husband just wanted to get us away, so we went to a pumpkin patch that we go to ever since the kids were born, and just had a really nice time. I really enjoyed watching my kids go through the corn maze and picking out pumpkins, and we just took some pictures together. And I'm actually going to have a pocket page that is going to be the companion for this 12 by 12 layout. So I definitely want to add the rest of those photos of that day, but it was just a really nice time. We got away for a little bit, and I kind of was able to escape being surrounded by my loved ones. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this layout. If you did, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you over here. I am back, and I'm going to be putting on a lot more videos, but thank you so much for being patient and understanding while I had to take care of some things. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. Bye.